Coming up on RMU Live, our own John Fisher has something fun you can do in these freezing temperatures. We have the latest on the ISIS situation in Egypt and an update on the Denmark shooting that occurred Saturday. Next. Welcome back to RMU Live for Monday, February 16th, 2015. I'm Hannah Smith.
And I'm Victoria Lomax. Here's what's happening now.
John Fisher braved the cold today to do a quick experiment to demonstrate just how frigid temperatures are today. Let's see what he found.
Good morning, Robert Morris. I'm John Fisher with RMU Live, and right now we are outside, and if you've been following the temperatures in the Pittsburgh area for the past 2 days, you've known, looking at the fog coming out of my breath, that it's freezing cold. Yes, right now at about 10 o'clock, it's 2 degrees with a wind chill in the negatives. The wind isn't blowing hard right now, but here's something fun you can do if you are outside, if you are crazy enough to be outside. Right now, my cameraman Dylan and I got a boiling cup of water. What we're going to do, if it works correctly, we're going to throw it up into the air with the wind chill going at the right speed. It'll turn into snow immediately. Dylan, are we ready? Can we do this?
We're ready.
We're ready? All right. Make sure the wind doesn't go right into my face. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, it does work. It is that cold outside, so everyone, I do recommend please stay in your homes until, well, tomorrow. The high today is going to be near 14 degrees, still with that wind chill in the negatives. However, the wind is going to dial down to about 3 miles an hour, so it won't really affect your commute at all. Reporting outside Patrick Henry, I'm John Fisher and Freezing Cold, RMU Century Media.
Be sure to limit your time outside and bundle up as much as possible. When temperatures are between 0 and -15, any skin that is exposed can freeze in 10 to 30 minutes. Once the temperatures drop below that, being exposed for just 5 to 10 minutes can result in frostbite.
Hair was shed, nails were painted, and money was raised in last week's haircut-a-thon. RMU Live's John Fisher reports.
RMU students came out to the John Jay Center on Thursday to get a haircut while giving back to a good cause. Muscular dystrophy hits home to many RMU band members, the creators of the annual haircut-a-thon.
So anybody that's getting a haircut or any waxing or a manicure, I just supervise, make sure that everything goes well, and all the students do a great job.
This is the second annual haircut-a-thon, and the Robert Morris Band does not plan on stopping the effort anytime soon.
My pitch would be that it's for muscular dystrophy. There's no reason not to support something for a good cause, and it's definitely worthwhile. You get something out of it, and you're able to give back, and I think that's a great thing. Hopefully you came down to the John Jay Center, got your haircut, gave $10, and grabbed a t-shirt while you were at it and gave to a great cause. And for more on the muscular dystrophy camp, go to www.mda.org. Reporting here from the Gus Krupp Gym in the John Jay Center, I'm John Fisher, RMU Century Media.
The RMU Band raised over $800 on Thursday and an overall amount of $1,121 between the two haircut-a-thons conducted this year, just under what's needed to send 2 kids to muscular dystrophy camp.
This month's diversity speaker is no stranger to RMU. 2012 graduate Chaz Kellum will be back to share his experiences in his presentation titled Round the Bases Through Sports and Life. Kellum is manager of diversity for the Pittsburgh Pirates and adjunct professor at Seton Hill University. Kellum's presentation will be this Thursday in the International Suite at the Soul Center starting at 4:30 p.m.
RMU students and faculty are welcome to celebrate Black History Month with a special Black History Month luncheon on Wednesday. The luncheon will take place from noon to 1:30 p.m. and will feature special guests Andrew Stockey and Ty Hill. The luncheon is free for students and $10 for faculty and staff. Reservations can be made in the Office of Student Life.
One of the world's experts on 21st century warfare will be joining the Pittsburgh Speaker Series this Wednesday. Peter Warren Singer is a senior fellow at Brookings Institute and serves as director for the Center for 21st Century Security and Intelligence. Singer will be here on campus February 18th for a brief talk at the International Suite in Seoul and will then give his main presentation at Heinz Hall in downtown Pittsburgh at 8 p.m.
Aggravated assault, driving under the influence, and criminal mischief are among the many charges 47-year-old truck driver Christopher Boyer is facing following Saturday morning's police chase that ended on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. The chase started on State Route 70 after Boyer ignored a state trooper's attempt to conduct a traffic stop. During the pursuit, Boyer threw numerous items from the cab of the tractor-trailer, including a steel canister and refrigerator. According to police, Boyer was under the influence of Xanax.
Pennsylvania's newest governor, Tom Wolf, issued a moratorium on all capital punishment until a task force examining the issues with the system gives a final report. Wolf halted all executions Friday, saying that the system is error-prone and inherits biases. Wolf said, quote, "I take this action only after significant consideration and reflection. There is perhaps no more weighty a responsibility assigned to the governor than his or her role in the final check in the capital punishment system." And for everything you need to know involving RMU news, sports, and arts and entertainment, be sure to check out rmucenturymedia.com. Coming up after the break, an update on how Boston is handling record-breaking amounts of snow and how the rest of the country is handling the extreme cold.
And a look into how Egypt is reacting to the most recent ISIS hostage video. Stay tuned.
They are the Red Sea. They need to be able to feed themselves. Penn State couldn't beat the Colonials in a game. It truly was a shame. And then Sacred Heart pioneered.
The RMU Century Media app is your mobile resource for all news Robert Morris. With access to campus news, RMU sports, and lifestyles, as well as RMU radio and RMU TV, the RMU Century Media app allows you access to all the information you need, no matter where you are. You'll have access to thousands of articles already online, and the new ones that are added daily. Download the RMU Century Media app for free today.
Hello, I'm back. How are you?
I missed you.
I missed you too. Choo choo! They're a train that keeps on rolling. Who would win in a fight, Ditka or a hurricane? I swear, each year could become a feel-good movie for the whole family. They just aren't losing. It's a shame, isn't it? Do you know how to tame a tiger? Either grow up with them or keep one as a pet like Mike Tyson.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure being by your side.
Okay.
Boston is still buried in record-breaking amounts of snow as the rest of the country feels the effects as well. CNN's Mary Maloney reports.
We will be ready for whatever Mother Nature brings us.
Extreme weather is old news to New Englanders. Even though it's only mid-February, the month's snowfall in Boston broke the old record set in 2005. The new record, 45.5 inches, according to the National Weather Service. In spite of it all, Massachusetts public safety official Kurt Schwartz says the state is prepared.
We're just going to keep on doing what we've been doing since January 25th until we dig down and we can see green grass somewhere.
Authorities say driving conditions could be dangerous and are advising residents to stay off the roads. The region is being hammered by heavy winds. Hurricane force in some areas have been forecast. In Sunday's early hours, one reporter latched onto the hood of a car during a strong gust. Some residents seemed a little weary heading into the weekend.
We've had enough. It's time for a break.
As the snow piles on, new safety fears arise.
We continue to encourage people to clear out their vents and to start worrying a little bit more about roofs.
Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker told reporters that several roofs had collapsed by midday Sunday. New England doesn't have an exclusive on winter weather. Forecasters are predicting sleet and freezing rain stretching from Oklahoma to Georgia Sunday night into Monday. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Boston is not the only place getting hit with this winter weather. Another storm moving across the Midwest, where southern Indiana could see up to 10 inches of snow and parts of Kentucky could see 8 to 14 inches.
The beheading of 21 Egyptian Christians by the Islamic State in Libya forced Egypt to respond with an attack of their own on the Islamic State. CNN's Andrew Spencer reports.
The Egyptian military said today it bombed ISIS targets in Libya, a day after President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said Egypt reserves the right of retaliation. The bombings come after ISIS released a video this weekend showing at least a dozen men being beheaded. ISIS claims they were members of Egypt's Coptic Christian minority, 21 of whom were recently kidnapped in Libya.
Libya is now the type of place where ISIS sees opportunity because there's insecurity and there's instability, and that's where ISIS likes to go. So it's a great market for them. Unfortunately for us, we're going to have to confront them there as well.
The White House released a statement saying the barbarity of ISIS knows no bounds, calling the video released this weekend just the most recent of the many vicious acts perpetrated by those affiliated with the group. Meanwhile, the president wants Congress to move on a new authorization for use of military force, but it's not yet clear whether Congress will be able to deliver.
If they wind up not being able to deal with this war authorization, that sends a terrible message to the world.
The president sent Congress his draft of the legislation last week. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
2, 1. Libyan Air Force Commander Saker al-Jaroushi told Egyptian state television that between 40 to 50 militants were killed. Jaroushi stated, quote, "More airstrikes will be carried out today and tomorrow in coordination with Egypt," end quote.
An update on the Ukraine situation. According to Ukrainian military command, pro-Russian rebels have attacked 112 times since Sunday, killing 5 security forces and injuring 25. Reported attacks have been ranged from small arms fire to mortar attacks. Debaltseve saw most of the combat, and with Mariupol seeing some. Rebels accused of Ukrainian forces of shelling the Donetsk airport, causing EU sanctions against Russia to go into effect.
Denmark remains on high alert after a gunman opened fire on a free speech debate in synagogue in Copenhagen over the weekend. CNN's Andy Rose reports.
Suddenly we heard a lot of noise, and we realized it was a shooting.
A chaotic scene in Copenhagen Saturday. 1 person is dead and 3 police officers are wounded after 2 gunmen opened fire at a free speech event attended by controversial Swedish cartoonist Lars Vilks. A manhunt is underway for the attackers. The Danish Prime Minister issued a statement following the shooting, saying all resources will be used to find the guilty and bring them before a judge. In Denmark, we will never bow to violence. Vilks has angered many in the conservative Muslim community, drawing portrayals of the Prophet Muhammad. He began receiving death threats after one of his cartoons depicted the Prophet with the body of a dog. An eyewitness tells CNN she believes that's why the event was targeted.
I can think of no other reason. It's a very peaceful area in Copenhagen, and the place where the event was held has never had any problems. There's no doubt about it.
In a 2007 interview, Vilks asserts his right to draw whatever he chooses.
If you don't like it, don't look at it. If you want to look at it, don't take it too seriously.
This attack comes just over a month after the massacre at satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo in Paris. I'm Andy Rose reporting.
So far, 2 suspects are being charged with providing and disposing of the weapon used in the shootings, as well as with helping the gunman to hide from authorities.
Last night, Saturday Night Live celebrated its 40th anniversary with a 3.5-hour special. Highlights of the night included the opening with Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake performing a musical number, a new Celebrity Jeopardy, and the Californians. Eddie Murphy returned after a tribute from Chris Rock, and musical performances by Miley Cyrus and Kanye West also starred in the night. You can watch highlights of the night at NBC.com.
John Fisher stated it is cold outside. Current temperatures were above 0, but actually we have more snow on the way. Catch my full forecast coming up.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to RMU Live. I'm Kristen Kotha with this week's sports wrap-up. Last night concluded a 3-day celebration for fans of professional basketball. The 2015 NBA All-Star Game was played at Madison Square Garden in New York City as the best in the Eastern and Western Conferences came to play. Russell Westbrook scored 41 points for the West, and by halftime, Westbrook had a record 27 points and concluded the game with 2 free throws, putting him just 1 point shy of the All-Star record of 42 points. The West came out on top with a final score of 163 to 158. Westbrook was also named MVP of the game. Going from the court to the ice, the Pittsburgh Penguins played this past Sunday as they took on the Chicago Blackhawks. After a scoreless first period, Chicago was able to gain the lead early in the second. About 4 minutes into the third, Pittsburgh tied it back up to send the game into overtime. Neither team was able to win the battle in OT, but the Blackhawks were able to outlast the Penguins in the shootout. The Blackhawks defeated the Penguins with a final score of 2-1. University of Pittsburgh fans have something to celebrate this weekend as the Panthers upset number 12 nationally ranked University of North Carolina with a final score of 89-76. A 7-0 run for UNC helped to tie up the game early in the first, but then it was all Pitt. Sophomore Sheldon Jeter had a career high with 22 points in the game. Pitt continues their most difficult stretch of the season as they take on the Virginia Cavaliers tonight at 7 p.m. Pitt has won 4 of their last 5 games, but even with a more open offense, can the Panthers really pull out another upset? Find out tonight on ESPN3. Well, that's all the time we have over here in sports. Now over to Jordan with the weather. Jordan, what's the rest of the week supposed to be like?
Hey guys, so I mentioned snow on the radar. I actually want to show you the national radar here. We have a area circled here. This is actually going to be a moderate snow band where 1 to 2 inches an hour of snow rate could be falling. Now you notice the pink. I'm concerned about some freezing drizzle. Now, of course, all this is south of us, but what's going to happen north? We go to the next map, and we'll talk about snow accumulation. So you see these kind of purplish colors here. Heavier snow bands are going to be likely there. Now for Pittsburgh, I looked at the model information this morning. The lighter blue is going to be around 1 to 2 inches for Pittsburgh. Now you see where that pink is? That's what's already on the ground. This actually is a mixture of what's falling and what will fall. And we also want to talk about exactly if you're down the south, if you're traveling to the south, don't worry about this because it's not going to go too far north. Let's jump to the 5-day forecast because important information. Tomorrow I put a 40% chance of snow in for Pittsburgh. Wednesday we'll have some leftover snow showers. Now, I know you guys are probably sick of the cold. I'm sick of the cold. I did put a -10 in here for Thursday. I'm not confident on these temperatures because there's going to be some areas that could be very cold. Check out my latest forecast on the web. And now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Kristen, for the sports, and Jordan with weather. That's all we have for RMU Live this afternoon.
We'll see you next time.